Welcome to the Daily Diamond Buzz Show from Baseball Nation Network. I'm Dean Patino. It's Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. Today's headline: Rodón answers Toronto, John Smoltz's remarkable reinvention, and why the automatic runner has to go. We've got a full Sunday slate in the books, and there is plenty to unpack. The Yankees responded against the Blue Jays. The Athletics edged Houston again. The Cubs brought the Thunder in Seattle. The Dodgers shut out Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee's weekend ended with Atlanta pushing back. We'll work through the games and focus on the moments that mattered because late August baseball has a different pulse. Every mistake feels heavier, every bullpen decision gets louder. Every chance to win a series can shape what comes next. Then we'll check the pennant race. No live games remain today, so the picture is settled for the night, but absolutely nothing feels settled across baseball. This is the part of the calendar when contenders have to prove they can handle pressure, while the clubs chasing them look for any opening at all. Our spotlight legend is John Smoltz, whose career was not simply great, it was remarkably unusual. He became an elite starter, moved to the bullpen, dominated as a closer, and then found his way back to starting. Reinvention is one of baseball's hardest assignments, and Smoltz turned it into a defining piece of a Hall of Fame career. And in Dean's take, I'm going after the automatic runner. It may create quick endings, but quick is not always better. Extra innings should reward baseball skill, not begin with a runner placed in scoring position. Settle in. We got a lot of baseball to talk about. Welcome in, everybody, to the Daily Diamond Buzz Show. It's Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. I'm Dean Patino. Today, I'm circling a heavyweight response in the Bronx, a fascinating left-handed matchup in Seattle, and another test in Philadelphia. We'll also celebrate John Smoltz's remarkable two-career resume, and I'll tell you why the automatic runner has to disappear. But first, let's take a trip around the league because all 15 games are final, and there is plenty to unpack. Start in Seattle, where the Cubs delivered the loudest result of the day. Chicago Cubs 19, Seattle Mariners 2. That is an emphatic answer after Chicago dropped a tight game on Saturday. Aaron Savali earned the win, Bryce Miller took the loss, and the Cubs turned this one into the kind of afternoon that gets everybody in the lineup feeling good. The Dodgers also made a statement at home. Pittsburgh Pirates 0, Los Angeles Dodgers 4. Blake Snell got the win, and Lake Bachar was charged with the loss. Los Angeles followed Saturday's narrow victory with a shutout, giving the Dodgers back-to-back wins over Pittsburgh. In San Diego, the Padres finished off a strong weekend result. Minnesota Twins 1, San Diego Padres 8. Walker Buehler was the winning pitcher, with Cody Funderburk taking the loss. The Padres had won a closer game Saturday, then created much more separation in the Sunday finale. The Yankees supplied that heavyweight response in the Bronx. Toronto Blue Jays 3, New York Yankees 8. Paul Blackburn earned the win, and Jose Soriano took the loss. Toronto had grabbed Saturday's game, but New York answered with authority and kept the Blue Jays from carrying that momentum through the weekend. Philadelphia stayed on the front foot against St. Louis. St. Louis Cardinals 4, Philadelphia Phillies 6. Alex McFarland picked up the win, while Riley O'Brien took the loss. The Phillies followed their big offensive performance Saturday with another victory, passing a different kind of test this time by winning a more competitive game. Kansas City won a wild one over Detroit. Detroit Tigers 7, Kansas City Royals 11. John Schreiber was the winner, and Andrew Sears took the loss. The Royals won both games supplied from this weekend, and Sunday's version was all about surviving a much more offense-heavy afternoon. The Athletics won another close game in Houston, Athletics 7, Houston Astros 6. Jack Perkins earned the victory, Stephen Okert took the loss, and Hogan Harris recorded the save. Oakland also edged Houston on Saturday, and this time, the Athletics found a way through an even higher scoring contest. Down in Miami, the Marlins completed another successful day against Washington Nationals 2, Miami Marlins 6. Michael Peterson picked up the win, while Jackson Kent was tagged with the loss. Miami held Washington to the same run total as Saturday and added some breathing room on the other side. The White Sox turned the tables on the Mets. New York Mets 1, Chicago White Sox 2. Grant Taylor earned the win, and Kodai Senga took the loss. After New York's offense controlled Saturday's game, Chicago answered by dragging Sunday into a much tighter shape and coming out on top. Texas bounced back against the Angels. Los Angeles Angels 3, Texas Rangers 5. Cal Quantrill was the winning pitcher. Yusei Kikuchi took the loss, and Jacob Latz closed it out for the save. The Rangers had been shut out Saturday, so getting the bats moving again was the essential response. Cleveland handled its business at Coors Field. Cleveland Guardians 7, Colorado Rockies 2. Foster Griffin earned the win, and Tomoyuki Sugano took the loss. The Guardians followed a one-run victory Saturday with a much more comfortable result Sunday. Boston and San Francisco played another close one. San Francisco Giants 4, Boston Red Sox 5. Jake Bennett got the win, Matt Wilkinson took the loss, and Aroldis Chapman earned the save. The Red Sox won by one run for the second straight day, which tells you how little separated these clubs across the weekend. Arizona answered Cincinnati's big Saturday performance. Cincinnati Reds 3, Arizona Diamondbacks 5. Jonathan Loaiziga picked up the win, Andrew Abbott took the loss, and Kevin Ginkel earned the save. The Diamondbacks kept the Reds from carrying over the offensive surge they had produced one day earlier. Atlanta salvaged a win in Milwaukee. Atlanta Braves 4, Milwaukee Brewers 2. Tyler Mahle was the winner, Shane Drohan took the loss, and Raisel Iglesias recorded the save. The Braves flipped Saturday's result and left Milwaukee with a needed response. And in Baltimore, Tampa Bay earned a split of the two results on our board. Tampa Bay Rays 3, Baltimore Orioles 1. Nick Martinez got the win, Shane Baz took the loss, and Brian Baker secured the save. After Baltimore took Saturday's close game, the Rays came back Sunday and returned the favor. That closes the book on the entire Sunday slate. There are no games live right now, and nothing is still to come today. All 15 are final. Let's check the pennant races because the calendar is tightening and several teams are about to find out whether they're chasing a division title, protecting a wild card, or simply running out of room. In the American League East, the Rays lead at 77, 53. The Yankees are 74, 56 and 3.0 games back, while the Red Sox are 71, 59 and 6.0 games back. Tampa Bay has control, but New York is close enough to keep real pressure on the top spot. Boston has won 3 straight, and with a plus 6.5 wild card position, the Red Sox have given themselves some protection, even if the division becomes a longer climb. The Yankees are sitting even more comfortably in that wild card picture at plus 9.5. The American League Central is much tighter. The White Sox lead at 68-62, with the Guardians 65-66 and 3.5 games back. Cleveland has won 4 straight, and that makes this a race worth watching every day. The Twins are 63-68, 5.5 games back in the division, and 2.0 games back in the wildcard race. Over the next couple of weeks, Chicago has to hold its ground while Cleveland tries to turn this surge into sustained pressure. Then there's the American League West, and nobody has separation. The Astros and Rangers are both 65-66, both listed with no games back. That is as direct as a division race gets. The Mariners are 62-69 and 3.0 games back, so they're still connected to it, but they cannot afford much drift. This race matters because the division lead may be the cleanest route into October. Houston and Texas are tied atop the West, while neither has wildcard distance to spare. The American League wildcard chase behind the Yankees and Red Sox runs through Cleveland. Toronto is 64-68 and 1.5 games back. Baltimore is 63-68 and 2.0 games back, tied in that column with Minnesota. Seattle is 3.0 games back, and Detroit is 3.5 games back. That's crowded enough for one good week to change the picture. In the National League East, the Braves lead at 76-55. The Phillies are 73-58, 3.0 games back, and riding a 9-game winning streak. That is the loudest challenge to an established division leader right now. Philadelphia also owns a plus 2.0 wildcard position, but the way the Phillies are playing, their attention belongs on Atlanta. The Brewers have the strongest divisional cushion. They're 81-50 with the Cubs 75-56 and 6.0 games back in the National League Central. Chicago also sits at plus 4.0 in the wildcard race, so the Cubs have 2 paths available, even if catching Milwaukee remains difficult. Out west, the Dodgers are 80-51 and have won 6 straight. The Padres are 71-60 and 9.0 games back, while the D-backs are 69-62 and 11.0 games back. San Diego currently holds the wild card line with Arizona 2.0 games back. Miami is 4.0 games back, and St. Louis is 5.5 games back. So circle the American League West, the American League Central, and Braves Phillies. Those are the races where the next couple of weeks can genuinely reshape the board. Let's start in the Bronx, where Toronto took yesterday's tight one. Toronto Blue Jays 4, New York Yankees 3. That kind of result changes the feel around the ballpark the next day. A close game leaves everything hanging there. Every missed pitch, every stranded runner, every late opportunity feels a little bigger because the difference was so small. Now the Yankees have to answer immediately at home, and Jose Soriano goes for the Blue Jays against Carlos Rodón. That's the kind of Sunday matchup that carries some extra juice. Toronto has the chance to build on the pressure it created yesterday. New York has the chance to push right back. When a series gives you a close opener and then a pitching matchup like this, the tension is already in place before the first batter steps in. Then there's Philadelphia, where the Phillies are coming off the loudest result on yesterday's board, St. Louis Cardinals 3, Philadelphia Phillies 12. That game had a completely different shape from the one in the Bronx. There was no need to search for the separation. Philadelphia put it right in front of everybody. The question today is what carries over. Momentum is real in the way a club feels, but every starting pitcher gets a fresh baseball and a clean inning. Kyle Leahy gets the assignment for St. Louis, and that means trying to quiet a Philadelphia club coming off a big offensive day. Christopher Sanchez tries to keep the Phillies rolling. For Philadelphia, it's about staying aggressive without expecting yesterday's production to show up automatically. For St. Louis, it's about turning the page quickly because baseball gives you that opportunity almost every day. I'm also locked into Chicago and Seattle. Yesterday was another close finish. Chicago Cubs 4, Seattle Mariners 5. That's the kind of game that makes the next meeting feel like a continuation. One club walked away knowing it had done just enough. The other walked away knowing the gap was as narrow as it could be. Now we get Shota Imanaga against Bryce Miller, a clean matchup between two clubs that just played a game decided by the smallest margin. There's no need to manufacture drama around that one. It's already there. Chicago wants the immediate response. Seattle wants to take the confidence from a close win and make it matter again. That's my Sunday sweet spot. Strong pitching, immediate responses, series tension already built in. The Bronx gives us a home club trying to answer after a tight loss. Philadelphia gives us a team trying to follow its loudest result with another complete performance. Chicago and Seattle give us two clubs stepping right back into a matchup that barely had any room between them. Sunday baseball has its own rhythm. Players know what happened yesterday, but they also know it cannot help them once today's game begins. New pitcher, new situations, new pressure, and in all three places, the story is already waiting. Here's your Did You Know for today. John Smoltz gave Atlanta something almost no pitcher has ever given one franchise: greatness in completely different jobs. He arrived as a power starter, became part of that legendary Braves rotation, won a World Series championship in 1995, and later captured the National League Cy Young Award. Then his career took a remarkable turn. After major arm trouble, Smoltz reinvented himself as an elite closer before eventually moving back into the rotation. He finished 213 and 155 with a 3.33 ERA, 3,084 strikeouts, 16 shutouts, and 154 saves. That combination made him the first pitcher in Major League history to reach both 200 wins and 150 saves. Think about the flexibility, toughness, and competitive nerve required to do that. Smoltz could dominate for 7 innings or own the final 3 outs. The Baseball Writers Association elected him to the Hall of Fame in 2015, a fitting finish for one of baseball's most versatile great arms. And that reinvention is what makes his career so extraordinary. Starting and closing demand different preparation, different rhythms, and a different kind of pressure. Smoltz had to recover physically, accept a new role, master it, and then change course again. Most great pitchers build their legacy doing one job. Smoltz built his by proving that his stuff, intelligence, and nerve could translate wherever Atlanta needed him most. I'm done with the automatic runner in extra innings, not interested in tweaking it, not interested in waiting until the 11th or the 12th. If a major league game is tied after 9, the 10th inning should begin the same way every other inning begins. Bases empty, nobody out. Go earn the winning run. My first reason is the simplest and it matters the most. The rule violates baseball's basic bargain. A hitter earns first base with a hit, a walk, or by forcing the defense into a mistake. A runner advances because somebody did something. The automatic runner skips that entire process and places a player in scoring position by administrative decision. Think about what that means. A pitcher can retire every batter he faces and still see the game decided by a runner who never reached base. A ground ball can move that runner to third. A fly ball can bring him home. No hit, no walk, no error, no offensive player safely reaching base. And yet the scoreboard changes. That is not a small adjustment around the edges. That changes the cause and effect of the sport. Baseball has always asked the offense to create 90 feet at a time. The automatic runner simply gives away 180. My second reason is that the rule makes extra innings feel more predictable, not more exciting. We are told it creates instant action, and technically it does. There is immediate pressure, but pressure and drama are not always the same thing. Real extra inning drama comes from uncertainty. Can the leadoff hitter reach? Can the pitcher survive the heart of the order? Can the bottom of the lineup start something? Can a hitter drive a ball into the gap and suddenly change the entire night? With a runner already at second, the decision tree narrows. Managers think about the bunt, defenses prepare for it. Intentional walks become more attractive. Matchups take over. Too often, the inning feels less like an organic rally and more like a drill designed to move one assigned runner across the plate. The rule does not eliminate strategy, it compresses strategy. It points both clubs toward the same limited set of choices. And baseball is better when managers have to navigate a wide open inning rather than solve a prearranged situation. My third reason is that the sport already found a better way to control game length. The pitch timer attacks dead time. It asks pitchers to work, hitters to get ready, and the game to keep moving. That is smart reform because it preserves the substance of baseball while improving its pace. There is a huge difference between making baseball happen faster and changing what counts as baseball. The timer shortens the pauses between pitches. The automatic runner alters how runs are created. One removes waiting, the other manufactures leverage. Now, the case for keeping the rule deserves a fair hearing. Extra innings can punish a bullpen, long games can disrupt travel, leave managers scrambling for available arms, and turn the next afternoon's game into a test of survival. Players have demanding schedules. Stadium workers have long nights. Fans may not want to stay until the early morning. Broadcasters, club employees, and everyone responsible for getting a team from one city to another feel the effects when a game keeps going. Those are real concerns. This is not a debate between people who care about players and people who do not. The automatic runner offers certainty, and certainty has value across a long season. But convenience cannot be the final authority on competition. Baseball does not promise that every game will fit neatly inside a preferred window. Some games are supposed to become strange, exhausting, unforgettable tests of depth. A club's roster construction should matter. Bullpen management should matter. The ability to build a rally from nothing should matter. And if exceptionally long games remain a serious concern, baseball can explore other answers without awarding free bases. Carry additional pitching flexibility. Revisit roster rules. Create safeguards for rare marathon games. There are ways to address workload without placing the potential winning run in scoring position before a pitch is thrown. Nobody starts the 10th with a free strike. Nobody starts it with a free out. Nobody should start it with a free runner. Keep the faster pace. Keep cutting out empty minutes. But when 9 innings are not enough, let the teams decide the game under the same baseball logic that governed the first 9. Bases empty. Nobody out. Earn everything. That closes the book on Sunday, and there are no games still to come tonight. As for Monday, the schedule and probable pitchers are not included in the information in front of me, so I'm not going to manufacture matchups or guess at who takes the ball. What I'll be watching next is how quickly teams reset after a day that offered just about every kind of baseball. The Yankees answered Toronto. The Braves answered Milwaukee. The Rays turned the tables on Baltimore. And after the Mets offense broke through Saturday, the White Sox came back with a very different kind of game Sunday. I'll also have my eye on the Cubs trying to carry some real offensive momentum into the new week. The Cubs had a huge response in Seattle. Kansas City's lineup was busy against Detroit. Philadelphia kept producing against St. Louis. San Diego's offense delivered again against Minnesota. The question now is whether any of that carries over once the ballparks, pitchers, and situations change. On the pitching side, I'm interested in the teams that found a way to control the game Sunday. Blake Snell and the Dodgers kept Pittsburgh quiet. Cleveland handled its business at Colorado. Walker Buehler and the Padres kept Minnesota from getting comfortable. Those are the kinds of performances that can steady a club, especially when the calendar is moving towards September and every clean inning starts to feel a little more valuable. Once Monday's matchups and probable starters are confirmed, we'll dig into the best mound pairings, the lineup questions, and the games with the most pressure attached. That'll do it for this Sunday edition of the Daily Diamond Buzz Show on Baseball Nation Network. I'm Dean Patino. Thanks for spending part of your day with me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. That's your Daily Diamond Buzz. What happened, why it matters, and what's next. Everything baseball, every day, every era. Come see it all at Baseball Nation Network. I'm Dean Patino. We'll talk tomorrow.